What's good, y'all? It's Zay back here with another Yap session, another low budget video. As you see, I have a book here in my hand. Gonna reveal what this book is to you here in just a second, but I kind of got this idea from my last video that I made, and don't mind like if my camera look a little blurry at the top. It's in 4K, but like I have a screen protector and it's kind of cracked, like literally where the camera is at, and the split is going right in between where the camera's at, so that's kind of causing the blur. But yeah, I got this idea from my last video. I think I just want to, like, on my other channel, I'm just gonna do like book and game reviews and just different reviews of stuff that I like as a consumer or that I didn't like as a consumer. But over here is gonna be lessons that I learn as I grow on my journey as an artist. So things that are helping me put me in the mindset of an artist. And this book is heavily spiritual. As I said, I'm gonna reveal it to you. It's Siddhartha by Herman Hesse. So heavily spiritual book. Picked it up when I was going through some tough times. Needed a fiction book to relieve me of some of the nonfiction that I was reading, and just help me come out of tough times and see if I could resonate with character that's in the story. And I heavily resonate with the character that's in the story, which is Siddhartha. Siddhartha is a Brahmin. He was a Brahmin with his brother, had a school of teaching wisdom and meditations, and he was unsatisfied, felt like he wasn't doing enough with himself, and he ventured off into the woods and journeyed, and then ran into the Buddha. He heard of the Buddha and he ran into him and wanted to become wise like him. But then after time of him learning these teachings from the Buddha, he realized his brother Govinda kind of admired the Buddha, but he realized that even after learning these things, he wouldn't become as enlightened as the Buddha, and just by being taught by the Buddha alone, he wouldn't come into his own spiritual awakening. He was kind of caught under the guise like nobody can really teach me what it is to be spiritual. That's something that I have to learn through experience, which is one of the lessons that we learn through this is that no one else can make you happy, and no one else can give you experience. You have to go out and experience things on your own. You have to create your own happiness. And if you're not happy with what you are, then you need to change your circumstances, which is what he did. He ended up going to a town, and instead of being this ruggish looking Brahmin, he met this girl named Kamala and kind of became infatuated with her. And once he became infatuated with her, she's kind of like she's basically a prostitute. If we're gonna put it in layman's terms, though she took a liking to him and they built a very strong bond, and he kind of became addicted. She taught him the ways of sex, seduction, romance, and they were smashing all the time, and he became addicted to booze and also gambling. So he used to always run like shoot dice and run crap games and stuff like that, and spend all his money on booze and everything. But then he found out that even this didn't make him happy. So what did he do? He reverted back to his old self, and he met a ferryman that helped him get across to the other town. And he met back up with this ferryman, and which is like basically a boat driver driving people from one riverbank to another. And he met this ferryman again, and he was like, kind of like, teach me your ways. How are you so enlightened? And the dude was like, well, I listen to the rivers. The rivers give me all the knowledge I need to know. All the souls, he was like, the water carries the souls that speak to me. And he kind of went into business with this ferryman and learned the ways of the rivers and how the rivers flow. And he learned from the natural state of the rivers, basically how to flow with life. You know, it's just a constant nonstop. And once the ferryman was kind of getting older and he was like, I'm done with this, that's when Siddhartha took over. Well, actually, before let me get to the part before the ferryman quit or retired, should I say? Before the ferryman retired, he learned that Kamala died and that he had a son with Kamala because he was having unprotected sex, of course, with Kamala. I don't even know if protection was a thing during that time, but he definitely didn't have no pullout game. So he had a son with Kamala, and the son, he brought the son with him because he was like, maybe I can teach him a thing or two to help him become of age. And the son was with them for some time, but then basically the son ended up finessing them out the money, like all the money that they had saved up, and he kind of ran off on them. And he was like, Siddhartha was kind of like, well, he has to learn his own lesson, and if he wants to survive in this world. So he let his son run off, learn his own lesson, just of course as he ran off and had to learn his own lesson. Because I believe that, if I'm remembering correctly, I believe that Siddhartha comes from wealth. So Siddhartha and his brother come from wealth. They kind of just wanted to they ventured off in the forest and everything, became disinterested in like regular teachings and school and everything. That's the whole reason why they became Brahmins. And just as he realized that no one could teach him, he had to realize the same thing for his son. So he let his son go. The ferryman retired. He took over the ferryman business. And then Govinda eventually comes to this ferry, not recognizing Siddhartha in his old age. And he asks him, how is it that he is so enlightened? And he kind of taught him the ways of the rivers. But then Govinda still didn't understand, and he told him to give him a kiss on his forehead, and that kind of enlightens him. I guess there's a deeper meaning in it, but I probably have to write about it in my full-on official review. Though, yeah, this could teach us a lot about how we need to experience things in order to form our own happiness. There's a lot of stuff on the internet right now, and if you don't live in real life, or if you don't live in the at least the literary world, where it's not technology and it's not a whole bunch of instant gratification going on, where you can at least learn lessons and build off of that to translate into real life, then you're probably stuck somewhere listening to an echo chamber of, it could be relationships, business models, it could be on success, it could be on personal sin, it could be on anything, and you're listening to these echo chambers, and then you're going into real life thinking that these arguments are valid, which they are very invalid, because you're building parasocial experience. You're experiencing the world from another person's point of view, and it's making you fearful of actually experiencing these things yourself. So then you start to inherit these arguments and deem them as truth when they may be someone else's truths or half truths. But now they've that all that toxicity and that poison has sunk into your veins, and it has made you a resentful person based off of something that you have yet to even experience. Okay? That's like every time you want to go outside, and play with your friends, and your mom always got some type of warning or something like that. Oh, well, you be careful, because they be robbing people up and down the street. It could be stranger danger. Watch out for strangers. Somebody could come up and offer you candy or something, and they could kidnap you. It's a plethora of things. Or you heard about them doing hit and runs, doing drive-bys. Somebody got struck by lightning last week. Be careful walking down the park. Like stuff that don't even, it could possibly happen, but it don't correlate to the times that we living in. Okay. Things, you have to experience things for yourself in order to find out what makes you happy. It could even be going into a career. I had to I went through so many trials and tribulations thinking that I wanted to be a guitarist. I wanted to be a keyboard. Like, I just wanted to learn an instrument, and maybe that's how I fall into music. When the whole time I just like to produce on my computer and make and record songs. Yes, I do like the instruments, but that's not where I'm pouring the most amount of time into when it comes to music. I actually like going in and making sounds and playing with synths and basses and everything like that. So that I had to learn through experience that some things aren't for me. Tried to do real estate, not for me. Tried to make a t-shirt business. I had to learn through experience that it's not for me. It's a lot of things that I don't know, that if I was to go into it now, I probably have a better foundation of where to start and how to start. But if I didn't start it at all, I wouldn't have found out that these things weren't beneficial for me at the time. And now that I know that, if I do want to come later and invest in real estate, I know how to do it. If I do want to come later and I want to start a business start a clothing line, then I know how to do it. And I'll probably be a lot better off having that first experience of starting off small, and then I can gradually build on that and become larger than what it is from where I started. So yeah, this book I recommend. A lot that we can learn about experience and just overall being happy with our circumstances and our situation. You don't have to have the world. You can also be comfortable with having the world if you have it. So it goes both ways. But that's the end of the yap session. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Do what you do to any old regular YouTube video. I'm not going to tell y'all to like, share, and subscribe, even though I kind of did. I hope that you learned a little bit of something, or you go and pick up the book if that's what you into, and you learn something eventually and be like, maybe he right, or hey, I got a different perspective on this book, if you read it or you're going to read it and you come back to this video in the future. So yeah, all that being said, keep holding it down. Saga continues, and I love y'all. Peace.